investigators found stacked bodies and maggots at a Colorado funeral home. Imagine entrusting the remains of your loved one to a funeral home, believing they will be treated with dignity and respect. Now picture the horrifying reality: their body abandoned, decaying, and forgotten. This is the nightmare that unfolded at Return to Nature Funeral Home in Penrose, Colorado. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Nearly 200 abandoned bodies were discovered at Return to Nature Funeral Home in Penrose, Colorado. A scene so gruesome it has shaken the nation. The sheer scale of the neglect is almost incomprehensible, a betrayal of the most fundamental trust we place in those who handle the deceased. FBI agent Andrew Cohen's testimony painted a chilling picture of the scene. His words alone are enough to evoke a sense of horror and disbelief. He described stacked, partially covered human remains, a macabre tableau of disrespect. The bodies were piled upon each other, their dignity stripped away in the most appalling manner. Bodily fluids several inches deep covered the floor, a testament to the advanced state of decomposition. This wasn't a matter of days. This was a prolonged period of neglect and decay. Infestations of flies and maggots were rampant throughout the building, a horrifying indication of the unsanitary conditions. The air itself must have been thick with the stench of death and decay. The bodies included adults, infants, and even fetuses, a devastating cross-section of life and loss. No one was spared from this horrific treatment. Death dates ranged from 2019 to 2020, indicating years of systematic neglect and deception. For years, families were unknowingly grieving while their loved ones lay abandoned. The bodies were stored at room temperature in a building with non-functional refrigeration units, accelerating the decomposition process. This was a deliberate act of negligence, a conscious decision to disregard the proper handling of human remains. A putrid smell, noticed by neighbors, ultimately led to the discovery, a grim reminder that even in death, the truth will eventually surface. It's a testament to the power of community and the importance of vigilance. Owners Carrie and John Halford are accused of multiple charges, a litany of offenses that reflect the depth of their depravity. The charges against them are staggering in their scope and severity. They face approximately 190 counts each of abuse of a corpse, a charge that underscores the profound disrespect shown to the deceased. This is not simply negligence, it is a deliberate act of desecration. They are also charged with 5 counts each of theft, highlighting the financial motivations behind their actions. They profited from the grief of others, adding insult to injury. 4 counts each of money laundering further expose the extent of their criminal enterprise. They attempted to conceal their ill-gotten gains, adding another layer of deceit to their actions. Over 50 counts each of forgery demonstrate their willingness to falsify documents and deceive families. They created a web of lies to cover up their horrific actions. Text messages revealed financial pressures and a growing fear of being caught, offering a glimpse into their mindset. They were aware of the consequences of their actions, yet they continued to perpetrate their crimes. John Halford even suggested methods of disposal, revealing a disturbing lack of remorse. His suggestions are chilling in their callousness. He suggested digging a hole and using lye, a horrifyingly practical solution to their problem. This demonstrates a complete disregard for human dignity. He also suggested setting the bodies on fire, a further indication of his depraved mindset. The thought of such a desecration is deeply disturbing. The Halfords fled Colorado to avoid prosecution, a clear admission of guilt. Their attempt to escape justice only underscores the severity of their crimes. They were eventually arrested in Oklahoma in November, bringing a temporary sense of relief to the grieving families. But the legal battle is far from over. Animal remains and bags of packaged concrete were found at the scene, adding another layer of horror to the investigation. The presence of these items raises disturbing questions about their intended use. Some families received fake ashes instead of cremated remains, a cruel and heartless deception. This is perhaps the most egregious betrayal of trust. Identification of bodies was a painstaking process, relying on various methods. The task of identifying nearly 200 bodies is a monumental undertaking. Fingerprints were used to identify some of the deceased, providing a crucial link to their identities. This is a testament to the importance of forensic science. Dental records also played a vital role in the identification process, offering another piece of the puzzle. The meticulous work of forensic dentists is essential in cases like this. Medical hardware, such as implants and prosthetics, provided further clues to identifying the bodies. These unique identifiers can help to piece together the identities of the deceased. DNA analysis was also used to identify the remains, a powerful tool in the face of such widespread decomposition. This is a long and arduous process, but it is essential for providing closure to the families. The discovery prompted an extensive effort to identify the bodies using fingerprints, dental records, medical hardware, and DNA. This is a testament to the dedication of the investigators and forensic experts. Officials planned to level the building where the bodies were found, a symbolic act of cleansing and closure. The building itself has become a symbol of horror and neglect. Families have been deeply affected by the discovery, their grief compounded by the horrific circumstances. The emotional toll on these families is unimaginable. Some families attended court hearings seeking answers and justice for their loved ones. Their presence in the courtroom is a powerful statement of their determination. Families are still awaiting confirmation of their loved ones' remains, a painful and agonizing process. The uncertainty only adds to their suffering. Carrie Halford's attorney questioned cell phone data, attempting to cast doubt on the evidence. This is a common tactic in legal proceedings, but it does little to alleviate the pain of the families. John Halford's bond was lowered from $2 million to $100,000, a decision that has sparked outrage among the families. Many feel that this is an insult to the memory of their loved ones. Several dozen sets of remains have not yet been identified, prolonging the agony for those families. The uncertainty is a constant source of anxiety and grief. Relatives who knew or feared their loved ones were among the abandoned bodies watched in person for the first time as the Halfords appeared before a judge. This was a deeply emotional and cathartic experience for many. Return to Nature Funeral Home started in 2017, promising a more natural and eco-friendly approach to death care. This promise was a cruel deception, masking their true intentions. They offered cremations and green burials without embalming fluids, appealing to those seeking a more environmentally conscious option. This was a calculated marketing strategy to attract customers. The Halfords missed tax payments and were evicted from one of their properties, indicating financial instability. Their financial struggles may have contributed to their desperate actions. They were sued for unpaid bills by a crematory that quit doing business with them almost a year ago, raising red flags about their business practices. This should have been a warning sign to authorities. John Halford was worried as far back as 2020 about getting caught, revealing a long-standing awareness of his wrongdoing. This demonstrates a pattern of deceit and disregard for the law. This case is a stark reminder of the importance of oversight and accountability in the funeral industry. It highlights the need for stricter regulations and more thorough inspections. We must ensure that this never happens again. The families of the victims deserve justice, and we must work to prevent such atrocities from occurring in the future. The actions of the Halfords are not only criminal but morally reprehensible. They have betrayed the trust of countless families and desecrated the memory of their loved ones. This case serves as a wake-up call to the entire industry. We must demand transparency, accountability, and respect for the deceased. Conclusion and call to action. The horrors uncovered at Return to Nature Funeral Home demand more than just outrage. They demand action. We must honor the memory of the victims by advocating for stricter regulations within the funeral industry, demanding increased oversight and accountability to prevent such atrocities from ever happening again. Contact your local representatives and demand legislative changes that protect families and ensure the dignified treatment of the deceased. Support victim advocacy groups that are providing resources and support to the affected families. Share this story to raise awareness and ensure that the victims are never forgotten. Let us transform this tragedy into a catalyst for change, ensuring that the sanctity of death is respected and protected for all.